Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials on any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
How to use containers. Okay, you have run the container, you have created a container, but how to use that container for my work? So don't think very complicated way, think simple. Let's say when you run laptop, what you do with it? Either you access the laptop application inside a laptop from outside, or you log into the laptop through the console. I mean, let's say PowerShell, Bash, or some console, Windows GUI console, and then use it. So simple thing. How to get inside a container, how to get inside a VM, how to get inside a physical machine, something like that. That's the first question. And second scenario is how to access a container from outside. That's all. How to access a VM from outside, how to access physical machine from outside. That's where you need a networking, right? So these are the two things you do that, right? Nothing else. So this is the topic which I'm going to talk about now, how to use containers. But you know what? Before that, I must tell you here one more thing. And the thing which I'm going to talk about is just shortcut, a command which we call it run. What is a run? So guys, in a Docker, there's one command which is called run, and run has a multiple behavior. Okay, let me remind you again, the life cycle of the container which you have worked with it. First you create, before that you pull, right? Then create. If you don't pull it, create, when you run the create, automatically it will get pulled, because here somewhere I discussed the behavior. If the image is not there, first download the images from the hub, default registries. Okay, so here first thing what we do is create start. This is the two things we do that. Then container started running. So guys, here I don't want to run two commands. I want to run only one command. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use one command which is called run, and run has a multiple behavior. First it pull, create, and then start, and then become or attached to the container. What is the last line is little confusing for me, I guess. What is a become or attach? So I'll discuss this one in some time. But guys, when you use the run command in Docker, then basically you get complete behavior. Now, all this behavior, you know that. What exactly this is, we need to understand that. I said here, become or attach to the container. So can you do one thing? Instead of create and start, can I use the command called run? So let me clear the screen here. Now guys, Docker, see, who am I right now? Who are you? Guys, I am Bash right now. I'm a Bash right now. And Docker run, and what is the image? I forgot the name of the image. Docker images, Docker run, and this one. Remember, this run means always it will create one container. Run is not a start. Sometimes I used to get confused. Run means start the container. No. Run means new container. Always new container. So because create is inbuilt with it. So here pull, create, start. Run will start, and then become or attach to the container. What is that? I'll talk about this one in some time. Okay, so guys, here Docker run Jenkins. Now, right, remember, who am I? I'm a bash right now. Guys, I run the container. I was a bash. I lost myself. Who are you now? I become a container. Yes, your console become a container. You are a container, but who are we? Who am I? I don't know. Find out. New session. CentOS sudo -s docker ps docker ps. I'm a Bintini now. See here. Last time I was a bash, and this Jenkins container which you see here is running with this command sbin-bintini and some parameter here which is hidden right now. I'll show you little later. Okay, don't worry about that. So you're Bintini now. I'm sorry, you are Bintini now. That means I'm on Bintini. Can I type something? Remember, Bintini don't understand your commands. It's one of the utility. Don't understand your commands. Who can understand you? Remember, you are a human being. A person who can understand you is shell, like a bash shell, which I was earlier before that. Okay, and then Concel, this, that, and all. And in Windows, we have a PowerShell. Okay, unfortunately, I become or attached to the container. So this is something I became a container itself. Now, anything which happens with the Jenkins, you can see the Bintini logs here. Okay, so now you understood this concept, guys. Become or attached to the container. Did you understand it or not? All of you?
Yes.
But guys, what do you know? What I'm going to tell you one more important thing. According to me, this is the most important statement which I'm going to make it. And you have to hard code this statement. What is that? I have not completed this task, right? I have not completed this topic. But in between, I'm adding one more topic. You know what? Physical machine, physical server run cause of PID1. Yes, PID1. Virtual server, this is the Linux one, running. Let's use running keyword. And many places I might have done some mistake, so please ignore it. Spelling mistake, cause of PID1. Yes, see here, physical server is running, cause of PID is run because of PID1. Cause of PID1 is running. Simple statement. Physical server is running, cause of PID1 is running of the physical machine. Virtual server is running, cause of PID1 is running. Can I prove this? Guys, look at my screen here. All of you, see here. PS-EAD. This is the PID1. I'm showing you right now the process ID of host machine, okay? And see the PID1, system D. You know what? When you shut down, this basically gracefully get exit, this get exit, and PID1 get clear, system is shut down. When you should start the system, then this is running, and as long as this is running, your server is running. So this is holding your entire system. That's the beauty about this. So physical server is running because of the PID1. Virtual server is running because of PID1 is running. So guys, same concept. Container is running cause of PID1 is running. PID1. So here, if I see that, look at my screen very carefully. I am right now Bintini. See here, Bintini. Right now I'm in the Bintini. I attached it. Here you became or attached to the container. So I am where? Bintini. But I want to know who's the Bintini. Let's find out. This is the container which I have used it. Docker execute. Last command I taught you, right? ps-ef. See who's the Bintini right now? It's a PID1. Jenkins. So my container is running. See here. Container is running because of the PID1 is running. In a simple way, if I tell PID1 is not running, container is not running. Simple way. Okay. So this is the statement you have to hard code for some time till you get comfortable. So right now, Bintini is a PID1. And here I am on the PID1. How do you kill the Bintini? Control X, Control C or something like that. Guys, I killed the PID1. So did we lose the container? See here. Gone. 9F is gone. Where is that? Exited. See here. Clear the screen. Exited. So guys, did you understand that or not? This statement. All of you? Great. So guys, I don't want to become, by the way. So what to do? What to do? So in that case, I will use one option called detached -d. So here -d will do what? You know, run, pull, create, start, and do not become. Do not become. Do not attach to the container. Simple. -d. So guys, you see here right now. Clear the screen. Docker ps. How many container running? 2. Docker run -d and Jenkins. 1 container. 2 container. And you see now 4 container. So did you understand what is a run and why do we use -d? Did we run? Did we understand that? All of you? Guys?
Yeah. Yeah. Now what is the PID containers? The new ones that you're creating?
Sir, your voice quality is very slow actually. Low.
Yeah. What now? If you see the PID, what is it for the new one?
New container, same PID, no? Same PID1. Bintini. See here.
But now if you kill the PID one, this won't get exited, right? That's what you want.
Kill this. These are the containers which is running. If you want to kill, either you kill the PID or stop. Stop also, they kill the gracefully the PID1 also. And kill also kill the PID1 gracefully. Sorry, brutally.
Okay.
Correct. So now guys, one more statement I would like to make. Okay, slowly I am pushing all the conceptual stuff. You know what? Physical server is running because of PID1 is running. Virtual server is also running because of the PID1 is running. Container is running also because of the PID1 is running. That's a conceptual thing. That is how the compute has been designed. PID1 hold the compute unit in the run environment. But you know what? In a physical server, PID1 is your system D. Yeah. In the virtual server, PID1, you have a system D. You see here. This is the system D. See here. System D. Okay. But you know what? In the container, PID1 can be, yes, can be anything. When I say anything means anything literally. Don't tell me this or that. Anything means anything. Such as Java, Bash, Perl, Jenkins guys use Bentini, A, B, C, anything. As long as this anything is running, your container is running, PID1 is running and container is running. So would you remember this concept all the time? Sometime you get the containers exited, you get surprised. What happened? Nothing happened. Your PID1 got exited. Simple. How to hold the PID1? That's you have to know that. I'll teach you some of the things tomorrow also. But if your container is exiting through manually, through stop command, through kill command, PID1 is responsible for it. You are gone. PID1 is gone. Container is got exited. So guys, this the clear concept for everyone? All of you?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, guys. So now the question was something else, and I deviated from the something this concept, right? So now how to use containers, guys? How to get inside a container? So here Docker provide two ways. One is execute, one other is attach. What is execute? So guys, execute, you have tried it out already. Execute using exec. Okay, you can execute any executable inside a container. And if you remember the now lab session, you have done so much of execute. Now you can see that what is the use of it. So using exec command, you can execute any executables inside a container. Inside a container. Don't tell me whether where host machine or somewhere else. Only inside a container. But you know what? When you execute bin bash is also executable, right? Bin bash is also executable, but this executable is having little bit of special purpose. Okay, so now guys, we are the human being. Understand that we are human being. We interact with the compute using shell like a bash, power shell in Windows, or C shell, Conch shell, and all this that shell. Without shell, it's very difficult to interact with the system, because shell has been designed for human being itself. So we are human beings. So what do you want to do? You want to go get inside a container. What do you want to do? Of course you want to do the bin bash, because it's a Linux container. So what is happening? Using exec, you can execute any executable inside a container, but when you use exec with of bin bash with IT combination, IT means interactive, you can go inside a container. Simple statement. I wanted to go, so I can go. Now let's prove it. So guys, I have how many containers? Let me show you here. Docker, I have 4 containers. Okay, I'll just stop this remaining container. Docker stop. I don't want confusion here. I don't need it also. I stopped all the container. And here, see right now one container. I want to execute some command. So Docker execute what? ls. Docker execute what? df-kh. Docker execute what? ps-ef. I do anything using exec, but I said if you use a bin bash with IT combination, that means exec hyphen it means interact. So Docker exec which container? This container with interactive mode with what? Bin bash. So here what you're saying, Docker execute what? This inside this with this mode, interactive, because you are human being, you have to interact. If you don't add interact, it will go run this executable and come out of it. Simple. Guys, where are you right now?
In
Where
container.
are you right now?
Inside the
a
container.
Okay, and you see, who are you right now? Tell me, who are you? What is your PID? Tell me. What is your PID?
Bash. In bash.
92. You got it. You are 92 right now. But can I kill one? See what happens. Gone. I kill the one. Why? Because as long as the PID 1 is running, container was running. I kill that and it's gone. Okay, so guys, again, Docker, I'm starting that container again. Okay, so guys, this is the way you can interact with the containers use this combination. Now, what is attach? Guys, attach, using attach command. Guys, please mute yourself. There's some noise coming from someone. So using attach command, you can become simple or attach to the container. Attached to the container. When I say this one, then you know what I'm talking about. Basically, you attach to PID1. Simple. You know, here I talked about it, right? Become or attach to the container, PID1. So using attach command, you can become or attach to the container, or you attach to the PID1. So if I see here, I have one container. Look at my screen very carefully. I have one container running with the Bintini. What I do? I attach. Where are you? Guys, many people think I got stuck. My system is not responding. I do anything and it's not happening. I'm writing anything, it's not happening. Actually, you are on where?
Inside the container.
But where?
Bintini.
Bintini. You got it, because this container has a PID1 is a Bintini. So you are a Bintini right now. You are a Bintini. Okay, you are Bintini. That means simple. You attach to the running container, you get into the PID1, and PID1 in this container is having Bintini, so you become a Bintini. Control C, I kill this container, PID1, and container got exited. That's all. So this is the way. It's a very simple concept. If you understand it, it will help you a lot. So now you know. I'm going to refresh. Guys, same concept. I will try one more time. Same concept. I will try one more time with some other containers. Okay, so before that, let me do the cleanup. I want to have a clean demo this time. So guys, here I deleted all the containers. Okay, it's gone. See, there's no container in front of you. You know what? Now I am going to run command, but not with the Jenkins image. I'm going to use another image. What image I should use it? So I'm going to use Ubuntu base image. I told you, first I'll use the application image, then I will use the base image. Ubuntu. It's not operating system. Never say Ubuntu is a operating system in the world of container. You say it's a base image, or you say it's a root file system, or you say it's a flavor. It's not operating system. Okay, mind it. So use the keyword very carefully. I'm very particular about that. Okay, so now guys, here I am going to do what? So I'm going to run. This time I'm trying this one. So Docker run Ubuntu. Okay, this is the base image. Now this will do these three things and plus fourth. Okay, see, Ubuntu is not there, it's pulling the images. Look at it very carefully. Just 5 minutes more. Just give me 5 minutes more. Guys, where is the container? Let me check it out. It's not there. Why? If I look at this container got exited. How come? Same command I run in a Jenkins. Container is running. I become attached to the container. But same command I run in the Ubuntu image, it got exited. Let me do one thing. Let me run with that -d option. One more time. Again, it's got exited. If you remember, I said one thing very clearly. If you remember, exited means what? Exited means it has run, a container has run at least of one time. That's the reason it has come exited. Else you will have a created status. Do you remember that? Everyone? Guys,
Yes.
are you there?
Yeah.
Yep. So container is exited. That means it has run, but exited. Why? Do you remember this statement? Because
PID is
what is
not running.
happening? Bin bash is not running in a daemon mode. Or sometimes you call, hey boss, run in the background, man. Why you are running manually? Run in the background. Something like that you say all the time. Run in the daemon mode. Run is a services. You don't have to run every time manually. Something like that, but it's not exactly that same thing, but something like that. Why? See guys, very simple concept. This container got exited, but it has run at least once. But exited, why? Because PID1 is a bin bash, and when bin bash, behavior of bin bash is it will run, this executable will run, exit. See here, bin, I'm running manually right now. That's all, exited. I am what I was. Bin bash, I did not become a bin bash. See here. So you exit that. You exit that. So something like this, ls, exited, df-kh. Run the command, exited. See it run. It gave you the output, then exited. See, same like that in the Ubuntu container. What has happened? Developers has used the bin bash. Sorry, I'm making some bad command. Okay. So here bin bash, this getting exited. The moment this is getting exited, the container also getting exited. So this I prove it in the same another image also. But same time I said very clearly, in the container world, PID1 can be anything. So it can be anything. You can literally keep anything. As long as this anything is running, your container is running. That anything is not running, the container is not running. But the question is, how do I set the PID1? For that you have to attend the tomorrow sessions. It is a work of the developers, image developers, programmers. We will do the development tomorrow also. Okay, but anyways, come to the point. Here, what I was trying to tell you, run you can use for the running any containers, but you know what? This container is not getting exited. I mean, sorry, this container is not being held actually. Anyways, you don't need, guys. Why you need to run and waste resources? What do you want to use? What do you want to do with the what do you want to do with the Ubuntu container? What do you want to do? I want to list out. Work is completed and then it got exited. It has completed the work. You see here. Look at the beauty of this. They completed your work and then exited. You want to do something else? df-kh. You can run any script, complete the work and then exit. So these are the base image you use for the running some applications quickly. Okay, not to hold and waste your. See, Jenkins is something I think in this way. You want the root file system for running some applications. So you run the application and you want to clear the CPU, RAM and stuff like that. So you have been designed like that. The images has been designed like that.
To watch our complete session, enroll for our premium membership. Click onto the join button and enroll yourself with the best suited option.
But if you run the Jenkins, you have to use consistently all the time through the GUI. it has to run 24/7, so you can use it. You know that. So for that, developers of Jenkins, they use the tactics of Bentini to hold that PID1. It never exit. So such kind of things will be done through the developers of the images. Okay. So now guys, here I showed you this concept, and then how to go inside a container. You know one thing, I can use this concept with a container to hold that container. Look at this here. Docker run Ubuntu. If I run this container, what will happen? It will run and then exit. But this time I don't want to run it alone. I want to interact. I told you, right? See here, bin bash with IT. And remember the Ubuntu control C, I did not run it. Okay. Here you see all the container you see here, bin bash. By default, if you don't provide any parameter, it will be bin bash. So if you run the bin bash with IT combination, you can go inside the container. See here. So here, what you are doing, Docker, look at my screen very carefully. Very carefully. Docker run Ubuntu. And this time I will add IT option. And bin bash is hidden in the container, though you can also specify, but it's not needed, by the way, because by default the behavior of Ubuntu is bin bash. Okay. So here Docker run -IT Ubuntu bin bash. Guys, where are you?
Inside the container.
Yes. And who are you?
Bin bash.
PID1, right?
Yes.
You see, can I, guys, if I kill one, it's not getting killed. Why? Earlier I killed the PID1 in Jenkins image, but it's here is not getting killed. Why? Guys, you forgot the principle of human being. Suicide is never allowed. Who are you right now? PID1. You are a PID1 and you want to kill yourself. Not allowed. Not allowed. So you cannot kill yourself. Someone else has to kill you. So if you want to kill, now this container, I just to prove this point, PID1 concept again I'm repeating, so it will become hard coded. Okay. So if you want to kill, then how to kill bash you have to find out. How to kill bash, guys? Do you remember this command?
Yes.
See here, indirectly. Exit will kill bash. And bash is unfortunately PID1. PID1 get killed indirectly, not directly. See here. Did you understand that now? All of you?
Yes.
So understand, small things matters a lot in the container world. And if you just learn this stuff, you'll become a pro in that. You'll never stuck. Okay, so next question is, guys, can I do one thing? I use IT. Here, I use IT. Can I combine with a D? Where is a D? This one. And see that what happens. So you see here, D means you'll never go inside the container, outside only. See here. Look at this, your container is in running state now. See? Now what this guy is thinking, you did clever work. You created a container with IT interactive bin bash, and bin bash is thinking someone is using me interactively, but you did the trick. You come out of this, you deattach to that. So container is keep waiting in interactive mode. Bin bash is keep waiting in the interactive mode. Okay, so you can create as many containers you want it. 2, 3. See, so if you don't use the IT, then it will not be interactive mode. It will go run and exit. But right now bin bash is waiting for you. You are interacting. Bin bash is telling, okay, someone is interacting with me. So let me hold it and do all what you want to think. So guys, overall what I wanted to teach you guys, run has this behavior. I hope you have understood this. Run -d have this behavior: pull, create, start, and do not become. Concept you have to be very clear. Container is running as long as the PID1 is running. PID1 is not running, container is not getting exited. PID1 can be anything in the world of containers, whereas then in the physical machine and virtual machine it is a systemd. Okay, how to use a container? So there's a two ways: exec and attach. Using exec, you can execute any executable inside a container, but with if you use this combination, you can interact with it, you can go inside it. And attach, you can attach to the PID1. It can be anything, I don't know, it can be, depends on the images. So guys, so far so clear? Any questions, any confusion, any doubts?
Rajesh, I have one
I have
question.
Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah, sorry. When we are with the exec, we can go inside a container and we can execute something. Whereas attach, also we are attaching to one particular container. Where exactly we will use attach instead of exit?
Okay, very good question. So first thing, I'll correct it. Using exec, you can only execute inside a container, not getting inside a container. I repeat, if you are using exec, you have to use these two combination, bin bash and in IT.
Right, right.
So to get inside a container, I've said very specifically, so please remember that. Second thing, where do I use the attach? Guys, what happens, think about it. You are a developer and you have an image of Apache, Tomcat, MySQL, Java, this, that. So what happens, you want to see the logs. So you want to see logs of what? PID1. Just now you remember I attached to the Jenkins image. Let me show you rather than talking. You want to see the logs of the Jenkins. Okay, so Docker, look at this here. Docker ps no, not ps, Docker run -d Jenkins. This is the one container I'm running right now here, and Docker ps, see this container is running, and I attach, so I can see the logs, PID1 logs. So sometimes this is, sorry, spelling mistake by the way. See here, this is the logs, still booting up this Jenkins and all. So if you want, you have to attach for some debugging purpose, most frequently used scenarios, debugging purpose, seeing the logs, consoles, and all stuff like that, you can do that. But exec, you can do wide things actually. So many things you can do. Make sense?
Thank you.
By the way, these all commands which I'm teaching you is for the production. I mean, sorry. It's for the development purpose only. We will not in the production. We will not use all this stuff in the production. Okay. Okay, guys. More someone else was asking one more question.
It was associated with this itself, Rajesh. I got my question answered. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, guys. So now the next question is how to access a container from outside. So guys, there are two scenarios here and you have to understand it. Okay. And again, please focus on this session is very important. Okay, very important. You will spend a lot of time because small thing which you don't know that. Okay. So guys, I have one container you see here. These all containers, I am just getting rid of it because I need a web-based container. Stop. 1, 2, 3 and stop it. Guys, you see here I have, oh, so many exited containers are there. Let me clear this. There's a shortcut command is there which will stop and clear all the commands, all the stop containers in one go, but that's pretty long, so I don't remember that right now, but you can Google it, you'll find it. So there's no containers right now. By the way, that's not a Docker command, it's a Linux combination. So Docker ps command, there's no container right now. So can you do one thing? Docker run -d Jenkins/Jenkins. You see here, this container is running. Can I know the IP address of this container? So inspect command you can use for graphing the IP address. What is the IP address? This one. I know the Jenkins run on the 8080 port. You can see it somewhere here also. Okay. So clear the screen. Ping. Let's ping that IP address. Accessible. You see. Can I curl this? HTTP 8080. See, this is a Jenkins page, home page, login page, authorization required, login page you see here. So I can access Jenkins through the network. This was so simple, but it's not as that simple. Let's understand that. Can I access the same IP address from outside of the host? Can I access? Nope. I cannot access. So before I give you the solution, we need to understand the problems in detail. Okay, so let's understand. This is the last pint which I'm trying to help you think about it. Guys, what is happening here is this is your VM where I am running the Docker, and this is the Docker. Docker is having this container, this container, this container. Okay, so these three containers are there. Now this VM has an IP address. Okay, now this Docker manages the containers networking. So for that reason, this container is accessible everywhere inside a host. This container also accessible anywhere inside a host. This container also accessible anywhere in the host at a high level. Okay, but what happens when I try to access that container IP address? It's not accessible because that networking scope for the container which we have used default one is not as per the mark. I mean, it's not, scope is not outside. In a simple way, if I put it up, let's say you are right now in the home, correct? You are working from home. Now you are getting some IP address. Will I be able to access that IP address from my home? No, because your router set the networking scope local. Okay, so that's not possible. So what should we do in this case? So that's a trick. Can you reach out to this? Think simple. This is the same concept we are trying in the cloud service like AWS, Google Cloud, Azure and all. So can I access this host IP address? Yes. So when I enter at the host IP address, here they should redirect to this container or this container or this container, because internally they can talk to each other. So it's like we call it a port forwarding concept. Okay. Sometimes you also call it proxy, but port forwarding will be the right ideal keywords for that. So this concept is very simple. You've been using from last so many years with the virtualization, but now we will use with the containers also. But before that demo, did you understand that concept or not? All of you?
Yes, got it.
Yeah. So guys, here in the Docker, they have given a command for exposing the port. So here, see here, I tried last time this command. See here, this command, and the container was not exposed at all. But what I'm going to do is I am going to expose another container. Run always create a new container, you know that. This time I'm going to expose -p. This is the node port and this is the container port. Container port will never change, it's hard coded in the image itself. So here this is external port. I repeat, external means this one. This one is internal port, container one, this one. Okay, so what they are doing, they are exposing it. This is a short format, by the way. It will be long format also, it can be possible. So here Docker run detach mode -p, p for port expose, external to internal. Look at this. One container I did not expose, one container I expose, and look at the difference here. One more time. See here. This container I did not expose. This container I exposed from the host machine to the container IP address 8080. Okay. See the arrow. Now, can I expose one more container? See the error. Port is already allocated. Which one? External one. Think simple. Okay. This host, you have only one network. So if you have used only 80 port, you cannot use one more time. So you have to change this 81 or something like that. So let me change the port number, external port number 81. And you see here. See here. This is the 81 port. This is the 80 port. This container I cannot access, but these two containers which is exposed, I can access. Where? Mind it. Where? At the node port, node IP address at those 80 and 81. So if I hit the 81, it will take me to this container. If I hit the 80, it will take me to this container. Guys, did you understand this concept or not? All of you. So guys, nothing else. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to hit the IP address of the host machine and port number 80, first one. Jenkins, you have it on the screen. And second one is 81. Here you have it. Second container also. So guys, this is the way we can do the post exposed. So let me give you all these commands in the notes. 133. So guys, all this command which I run here is here, and there is a one more window I used for running some commands, which is here. Okay, so let's recap the things. Run has a multiple behavior. Run -d. Conceptual thing, very, very important. How to get inside it. How to access a container from outside using -p options. So guys, this is the way you have to use container, and you go inside or access from outside. Now you decide, and you see how it is cheap. Remember how much time it takes. Recall that discussion I've been telling you. Discussion, saving cost, saving time. So physical machine, 1 week. Virtual machine, 5 minutes. Container, 1 second. So now guys, did you understand that? All of you, what is a container technology and how it works?
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan, and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.